Ada from Poison Rock. Today we have Turin. It's just Ben and Eddie. Someone else is missing, I guess. Just let's say to the people who is missing, at least we know all the musicians involved in Turin.
Yeah, cool. So there's me, guitars, Ben drums, Splinter or James is bass, Daryl is vocals, and Hayden is the other guitarist.
Okay, perfect. So I just asked immediately the musician involved, but the hardest question, how is going, guys? In this summer, still almost summer. I was going there in UK.
Well, the summer for the UK has lasted all of about 4 days, and
Really?
it's absolutely chucking it down. It's typical British weather.
Okay.
So suitably miserable.
Okay. I think so for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's raining hard outside, and yeah, just typical usual UK.
Yeah, here Sicily is the same. Like in UK, I'm not joking. So I think a little bit of part of UK moved here. I was speaking with the Finnish band before. They have 28 degrees, which I think was the fucking Finland. And in Sicily, we're like 20, 21 with clouds. It's the world is fucked up.
Yeah, man.
But of course, I mean, before speaking about Turin and the last upcoming release, just let's give a little to the people a little bit of background of both of you. So I don't want to go first. Your musical journey. So want to start first, David? Who is gonna start?
Yeah, you go on, Dave.
Yeah, might as well. So a bit of musical background. If you want to go from the very, very beginning, which probably quite boring.
2 years old. Except for 2.
So I've been playing guitar since I was probably around about 12, 13. I've been sort of semi-professional since maybe 18, 19. We've been a band together in this form for over 10 years.
Okay.
We started off very much kind of more technical, progressive. It was kind of like technical death metal with sort of prog elements. As time's kind of gone on, we've sort of refined the style through a number of different releases. And I think this is the first release that I think we've done where I think everything's just kind of fit into line. Yeah. So it's a really, really personal release, but I love it. I hope everyone loves it too as well. So it's been a bit of a journey making it as well. So
yeah. And what about you, Ben? You started as well like a 2 or 12, 13. How was your drumming journey?
Yes. I started playing. I'm 37 years old now. I started playing drums when I was 10.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sort of played in various bands sort of throughout my career, starting first gigs around the age of like 13, like local gigs. Eventually, sort of my late teens, went on out touring around Europe with a band called Nightmare Visions, and did various bits and bats between that, just local stuff really. And then got the chance to join Turin in 2017 and do a bit of session work with bands like Bloodshot Dawn, Bloodstock Festival and stuff in between. But yeah, sort of not looked back really since joining the Turin guys in 2017, and just it's been a really good journey with them. They're the sort of best bunch of guys that you could want to be in a band with, and yeah, it's really sort of inspiring bunch of people, you know, like the sort of make you want to up your game at your own instrument, and you know, it's like a sort of mini competition, you know. It's really good. And yeah, just as Davey was saying, this release that's coming out now, it's probably the most personal release to us all. We've all put a lot of hard work into it, and from a personal point of view, I sort of not been sort of playing drums as I usually would do, just going absolutely fucking mental. It's more sort of taking a step back and playing to the music and writing songs rather than just sort of heavy death metal riffs with fast drumming really. So yeah, it's been a really good journey so far. I'm excited for everybody to hear it, and I just hope everybody likes it as much as I do.
Yeah, so you both mentioned like kind of a personal journey, let's say this and it's a personal album. So what do you mean for, or what does it mean for both of you, this personal, like in a term of a growth as a musician, as a human being, or as well, I don't know, personal life? What do you mean for like is different, like a turning point album?
Yeah, I think this album has been, I know a lot of artists throughout their career say that there's always an album that's been really, really cathartic, and it's been a way of venting frustrations and kind of making people understand a snapshot in time where you
Yeah.
were as a person. Some of my favorite albums, like Downward Spiral by Nine Inch Nails, it's an incredibly personal sort of journey through depression, addiction, what it kind of means to be human. And I think with the Unforgiving Reality In Nothing, it cuts really, really close to the bone. So I think everyone during the recording of, or the writing recording process of this album has been through some pretty significant life upheavals, whether it's loss, whether it's kind of falling into the trap of depression and things like that. And it's been it. We're not really a band that's ever worn their heart on their sleeve, but with this particular release, when you look through the concept behind it and you see the whole sort of artwork, the way that everything's kind of depicted, the messaging behind it, I think it is very, very true to its core and its purpose. So
it's kind of, it's something like that, like this, it goes really to hit the core of any human being, like, because mentioning that topic or the aspect that you mentioned of life, because this is life, no matter where we come from, this is life. We go through loss, depression in every part of our life. That's normal. So that's something that everyone goes, and sometimes we even are ashamed of that. So putting that on a record all the time, I said to the musician, especially because you have the message to spread it, kind of normalize it. I mean, because what's wrong with the loss? What's wrong with the depression? What's wrong with the whatever addiction, anxiety, whatever? Is just face it, it's true. So if you listen to musicians like you, if people listen, they can, feel it and think it's always like Sam, I'm not alone, because I think as well, like me, you, anyone else, listen other musicians before say, oh, I'm not alone, they are speaking, so it's not only me. So in all this, before going more deeply about lyric wise, sound wise, of course there has been a growth since the beginning. You mentioned 10 years prior. So because I try to look, there has been only one full length release before this, right? Which was Cersis in 2015, 15, 16, something like that. And then you released singles. So before, like in all these songs, album you released, and let's say music, why is it, we are speaking about sound wise, how and why and how the Unforgiving Reality is not in Nothing is different?
Cool. I think the way things have kind of evolved sound wise over time, I think we've learned to become better songwriters. Towards the beginning of a career, we were very much kind of focused on technique, basically trying to smash out the kind of real technicality, musicianship. And over time, we kind of realized that maybe music doesn't necessarily have to be that complicated. And I think the more complicated music can get, the message can get diluted at the same time. So it's been a process of slowly refining over a period of releases to kind of get to this point where we feel happy, and we're always going to criticize whatever we release. I mean, we're musicians at the end of the day. We're not perfect, we're human. So having this thing, which is just a snapshot of where we are at the moment, I think is the most sort of realistic representation of us as a band. We've stripped things back, we've kind of added technicality, but we've also added a lot of different layers in there as well. So, and concepts and themes. So
let's say that this last upcoming release, The Unforgiving Reality In Nothing, is literally who is Turin today, and maybe what will it be since from today on, like in the next years. Just, of course you can evolve, of course you will evolve, but with this kind of direction, let me say, it's kind of direction towards.
Definitely.
And you mentioned a couple of times the word snapshot. So I want to ask you, during the recording, rehearsal, whatever, live shows, but let's say in the backstage of The Unforgiving Reality Is Nothing, what snapshot of a funny moment did you have? Because of course we talk about deep thing. Let's put a little bit of funny. Of course, there is as well the funny thing behind it. So give both of you, give me this one fun snapshot, both of you.
Something funny, Ben. You're the comedian here, pal. So, was there anything funny that we did?
To be honest, I mean, I'd say we always have a laugh every time we get together, really, don't we? And nothing's ever sort of serious by the music. But no, I mean, we've had so many funny moments together over the years on tour. I remember, I think one of the funniest moments in the process that I've had with the guys is sleeping in a place, I won't name the place, but sleeping in a place near to where we are, a local gig. It's just an absolute sort of shithole, sort of, you know, shit, dirty room, shit everywhere, flies over the ceiling, stuck to the walls, sellotape, and fucking flies everywhere and stuff like that. And I think as a band, we tend to find a lot of fun out of the silly little things like that. I think we try not to be too grown up about stuff, and you know, there's nothing wrong with sort of being a little immature and having a good laugh, you know. So I can't really pinpoint one point, because I think every time that we do get together, something stupid sort of tends to happen, and yeah, we always have a great time. Yeah,
I just thought of one actually, Ben.
Yeah.
There is one that I remember. Splinter, everyone played this joke on me, and I was feeling a little bit delicate going into the studio. So not enough coffee, not enough sleep. I'd done a fucking crazy shift managing the bar the night before. I was like, right, cool. Could you just go into the live room and make sure that the cables are connected to some of the amps? And they shut the door behind me and ended up playing one of the tracks full blast through all of the fucking speakers, and it deafened me. It was horrible.
But you know, the snapshot that give you like the moment, the stills, they give you like the smile, and they make you go like, I want to play, because what is the beauty of being perfect? You know, like there's no perfection. Music is imperfect. Perfection, the second, like you said, you're leaving kind of the technicality side far from you. So let's bring back more I don't want to say the rawness, but like the core, the essence of a band, of the music. But of course I want to, because of course you mentioned death metal, something like that. Your as a main influences as in Turin musically, what we could say is mainly about, like, I don't want to, I'm not saying like band or something, but as influences, yeah.
I think the really cool thing about it is I think we all have a lot of different influences personally, that sort of contribute to the music overall. I mean, myself, found as I'm getting a little bit older, I tend not to listen to as much death metal personally, you know. It's a bit more chilled out stuff, like, you know, Crosses and Deftones and, you know, that kind of stuff. But influence wise for the band, I mean, especially for a drum perspective, I like anything from sort of like the sort of jazzy fusion players like Justin Scott, all the way to stuff like Ken Badine from Aborted, one of my favourites. So I tend to take a lot of influence from him personally. But I think as a band, we're all into that much sort of, it's that diverse, the stuff that we listen to between us. I think it sort of really helps bring all the different styles together to, you know, create something that we're all really happy with.
Yeah, so something unique and something that I think I mean, because come on, who likes put labels on music nowadays? There's so many genres, so many. I mean, I think it's the listener that maybe they could say, oh, it sounds like that, it sounds like that. because I think as well, like you, Dave, is like your own personal influences as well, coming from, I think, a musical background. So already Ben Gibbs is. So yours. What about you?
So the way I kind of approached the writing process for the album, similar to Ben. I mean, I was listening to a bit of Aborted, some classic death metal. Like Death's one of my favorite all-time death metal bands. But I was really focusing on like listening to quite a lot of OSTs, like official soundtracks and film score.
Okay.
So some of the sort of melodic things that are on the album were influenced by like John Murphy, who did 28 Days Later, Jerry Goldsmith, John Carpenter, one of my favorites. So I was especially taking some of my lead lines and things like that in the Unforgiving Reality In Nothing, the single, Hopeless Solutions, Loss, Abyssal. A lot of those things were kind of influenced by film score. Okay. So it was a different approach, but I think it worked.
But and it's kind of cool as well, like because you're mentioning movies, because in general, it's more common to see kind of like synth electronic music going on with that. So I want to ask you, do you think about it like maybe using your own music for a movie, like sometimes, like really, because you were thinking about a movie, but what if like Turin were movies, like you were putting your own music for movies, how would this movie would be?
Oh, that's a really good question. Let me get my
loves movies. You can go wrong with that.
Oh man, that's an amazing question. I mean, I've always really liked the idea of scoring films, but if we were to have a movie that would accompany one of our tracks,
say, hey, you are the director, tell me what to do, and I'm giving you thousands of fucking pounds, millions.
Shit. I'm personally, I'm like really big into horror films, but I don't think Turin would probably do a horror film. It would be more maybe like I don't know, arty possibly, or maybe like abstract thriller, psychological, something like that, but with maybe like a horror film element. I think as I've gotten older, like the better films for me that really kind of hit me are the ones that mess with your head, as opposed to the ones that are like really visceral, what you can see. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it was an amazing film because you couldn't see a lot of the stuff that was going on. So it's not what you see, it's what you can imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that. Ben, what would you do? Anchorman 3, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Dumb and Dumber all over. Maybe some to America, No, I think you on that, Dave, is something a little bit more psychological, I think, and something you have to sort of sit back and think about rather than just looking at a gore fest like the typical kind of stuff.
So let's say kind of a let's say psycho thriller with horror element, but that doesn't reveal everything and leaves you like a message at the end, like about it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, with a side of bit of sort of sketchy B movie in it.
Yeah, and if I mean, of course, because let's say it's based like on the last record that is upcoming. Which tracks would you like to use, like opening theme? Like it's opening the movies. There are the first 3 minutes of the movie. Which song, instead of saying which song you prefer of the album, let's put it like which song would you use if it was the movie?
What would you say, Ben?
Difficult. It's probably a weird one because it's not been released or anything yet, and there's not a great deal to it. But probably Ghost.
Okay.
Probably a track we have called Ghost. A little bit different, a little bit of a mini sort of breakup for the album. It's just a little bit eerie and a little bit different, really. Yeah. What about you, Dave?
You know what? You beat me to it. You totally beat me to it. I was going to say Ghosts because the concept behind that track was definitely, it was a bit more film score.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do an interlude anyway, but for, I think probably for as long as we've been recording, I've always wanted to do an interlude section or a section of track that made you feel like when you're wearing cans that you're being submerged underwater. And it's a really weird, unsettling, isolating experience because of the way that Lewis Johns, our producer, the way he did the whole sort of production on that track. And there isn't much to it. There's a few sort of themes that have been thread throughout the album, and especially that track. But it's weird feeling like you're underwater.
Okay, so we turned Turin into a production movies something.
We just need a budget now.
Yeah, so director out there, or just whoever is a billionaire, go fund them. That's it. I don't think that's a billionaire, it's better. And of course, coming back to the album, we went in a funny way, but of course the topic is, like we were saying, are really deep. And so the message there is behind all the album, what is for Turin? Like, what is your message that you wanted to say and express with the upcoming release?
I think the message behind the album is, like we spoke about before, it's what it is to be human. You'll suffer loss, you'll suffer tragedy, you'll be envious, you'll basically have all those sort of mixed emotions, good and bad. But I think the big thing behind the album is that it's okay not to not be okay. I think it's giving people something that they can listen to, and if it helps them get through bad times or helps them get out of a sticky situation or release some frustration or realize that it can be better and it doesn't have to be the way it is. I think that's the big important message. I think everyone's kind of guilty, like maybe not looking after the mental health too much and thinking that maybe they can just brave it on their own, and like the pride gets in the way, and it's like, yeah, I'm strong enough to get through all of this. And sometimes it just takes an extra hand. So, I mean, maybe in a way, the album is almost like a hand. So,
let's understand that even if you're not okay, is okay. And you don't have as well, sometimes to justify the struggle you are going with the people, like, oh, I'm having depression, I'm stealing, today I have depression, tomorrow I have depression. You can just get along with that. Just realize that it's okay. I mean, sometimes it happens. It's not a problem. I mean, we're human, like I said. We're not machine yet.
Yeah.
But of course, like I said, the topics are tough. There was one song in all those 10 songs that you wrote or recorded that was tougher than recording, because maybe it was, I don't know, heavy topics or something that was really touching.
Ben, do you want to give your example of really like a really tough song to record? If is the one that touched your heart?
Physical standpoint, it was probably Turin, because I thought my fucking legs were going to fall off. But I mean, I think it's difficult to say, because I think for me personally, I think Envy is quite a good one for me. It definitely speaks to me, but the album as a whole does, and I think that it's something that can speak to everybody, no matter who sort of listens to it. Just because it's the concept of sort of the album, again, just being human, is something that everybody can relate to, and everybody's sort of been through some of the emotions and some of the struggles that we talk about in the album. And I think that everybody, no matter what that's been, will be able to relate to it in their own personal way. So, I mean, overall for me, I think I struggled to pick, because all of the songs are that personal to us all. I can relate to every single one in a different way, because pretty much everything that we talk about in the tracks has happened to me and all the lads on a personal level, just in a slightly different way.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, people that is gonna listen the album, is gonna buy the record. I mean, there is not a specific order. Like they can listen the album from the middle, no, the fifth track to the first. It doesn't matter. Or like as a, of course, writer, your musician, you suggest to start to the first and then to the last. Because sometimes we just go straight forward to, I don't know, one song, I don't know, the seventh. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I think to be fair, one that does stand out is Our Reality. Just because it sort of symbolises us all together as a band and as a unit, and coming together to kind of overcome everything individually that sort of happened in our lives. So I think that's a track that I'm looking forward to, a lot of people hearing, because I think it'll really touch people.
Of course, I mean, this is the album is gonna be out, will be out the 12th of July, and it will be out throughout. I think, I mean, all this social streaming platform, and as well physical copy, I think, right?
So you got a physical copy on CD, and then it'll be all the usual, Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, that kind of stuff. Yeah, you should be able to pretty much pick it up anywhere.
Of course, and people they can find that on your personal website, social media, or there are other store related.
Obviously you can pick it up through Monarch and the Turin Bandcamp, and message us personally. We'll sort you out.
Okay, but just of course before there is an important part of the band, the live show. So you're planning to do something for the release of the album, or before or later? For what can you say, of course? What is going about the live show situation?
So the live show, we've been working hard behind the scenes to deliver something a little bit different. We kind of refrained from playing live shows doing the old set whilst we were doing the writing and recording process for the album. There was a lot, obviously, in the background, sort of the band admin type stuff that we were doing. So aside from me doing some of the music videos for Hopeless Solutions and Envy as well, but we've also been working on like lights, the whole stage, the way that we kind of present ourselves on stage. It needs to feel like a bit of a journey or an ordeal, depending on what you think.
So the thing is, it's gonna be like as well. I mean, if you wanted to do like a premiere of your own movie at the first release show.
Yeah. So I mean, we were even thinking of at some point maybe doing like projectors and stuff further down the line, so that there's a visual element to the live show. So it's not just some guys kind of moshing out on stage, breaking necks and stuff. There's more to it. So you're going to get strobes, and there's other stuff going on as well. So we're looking.
Experience. But you already have some gigs, live show booked already. You're planned already something for the next month ahead.
Yeah, so we have a release show that we're working on at the moment, and then there'll be a subsequent tour after that as well. So details will come very, very shortly.
Okay, so let's say that everyone that wants can always update on the social media. So let's say there's gonna be an upcoming show, like a kind of tour of upcoming shows after the release because of course I think people want to see you live as well. They're gonna listen to the album as well. So what can I say? Just I'm waiting for a movie. I mean, Turin, like not Gran Torino, that's a Clint Eastwood movie, but Turin, like I'm waiting Turin, the quintessence, fifth essence. So I'm waiting for a movie, but until then, I have to do an interview again, guys, with you. Maybe when there's gonna be the announcement of a tour or something, so we can catch up about how the people reacted to the album. I was going, the live shows, and promote as well a little bit the touring when it's gonna happen. So until that was really fun and enjoy, and let's go to watch a movie. Which movie will we watch this evening?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Okay. Have a good rest of the day, guys. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Nice one. Cheers.
Cheers.
See you later.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.